In just the last few hours, former President Trump is committing to 3 debates next month on 3 different networks as part of his first public appearance since Vice President Harris announced Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate. The vice president responding just before getting on Air Force 2 a couple of minutes ago. Watch this.
I was glad that he finally agreed to a debate on September 10th. I'm looking forward to it, and the show's up.
Are you open to more debates?
I am happy to have that conversation about an additional debate or after September 10th.
All right, after September 10th, that would presumably mean potentially, if she's having the conversation, the possibility of her participating in an NBC News debate on September 25th, as former president said he has agreed to. We also are now hearing from President Biden on this. Remember, his debate with former President Trump at the end of June is what ultimately, it seems, ended his re-election campaign. Listen.
In debating Trump, are you confident in Vice President Harris?
You heard the president there. Might not have heard him, but read it. He says as long as he keeps talking, all of it. Coming after a pretty long stem winder of a press conference from former President Trump, who personally insulted Harris's intelligence, ran through a long list of claims that aren't true, and seemed kind of annoyed by talk of crowd sizes at Harris-Walz rallies, making a controversial comparison between the crowd he spoke to on January 6th and the crowd who watched MLK give his I Have a Dream speech.
The biggest crowd I've ever spoken, I've spoken to the biggest crowds. Nobody's spoken to crowds bigger than me. If you look at Martin Luther King, when he did his speech, his great speech, and you look at ours, same real estate, same everything, same number of people, if not, we had more.
Okay, obviously not the case, as tonight we're seeing a tale of 2 campaigns emerge with 2 very different strategies. Let's hit it with both of our campaign reporters in the field tonight. NBC's Shaq Brewster is in Detroit with the vice president, but let's start with Garrett Haake down near Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida. So, Garrett, you know the meme of like people who take meetings and they're like, hey, this meeting could have been an email. The announcement on the press conferences could have been a Truth Social post, right? But clearly, former President Trump wanted to get out there. They invited members of the media to come for what they described initially as a press event. The Harris campaign suggested that he was essentially so eager for the spotlight to turn back to him that he was throwing what they described as a temper tantrum in front of the media. He wanted to talk, and talk he did today.
That's right, Hallie, and I think the purpose of having him talk was more to have him talk than in any actual message he conveyed. The Trump campaign is keen to try to backfoot Kamala Harris's campaign by suggesting she's not capable of doing what we just saw her do on the tarmac there, take questions from reporters without a teleprompter in the middle, essentially. They want to try to get her out there, not because they think it's a good media story that he's accessible and that she's not, but because they think the more she talks, the less voters, particularly the independent voters who they think will decide this election, are likely to kind of buy into the hype and the kind of momentary surge that they believe that she's having. So that's why you see Donald Trump holding this hour-plus long press conference today, which had more false things in it than we could fact-check across the balance of this program. But again, that wasn't even really the point. The point was to get him out there and to show that he can still do this. Why isn't she?
At one point, he said something like, and I'm paraphrasing here, you know, it's not about her, it's about policy, meaning it's not about Harris, it's about policy. A statement that was belied by the other hour, 4 minutes and 30 seconds of him going after, I mean, you know, her personally. He obviously talked about some of the policies that he didn't like, again, in ways that at times were not truthful, were not based in evidence here. What is the plan, the strategy for the next 89 days? We hear a lot about let Trump be Trump. Is that it?
Well, no. I mean, you hit the tension of this because the plan, the strategy, is to do what Trump started out doing, which is to criticize Kamala Harris on policy and on the things that she has said in the past that she is for, things like Medicare for All, which she co-sponsored, the Green New Deal, which she was a major supporter of. They believe that her actual policy positions, they being the Trump campaign, are well to the left of where the American people are, and that if they can just communicate that message, they will win the center-right coalition that they need to become president of the United States. That plan is sometimes complicated by Donald Trump, the candidate, who likes to communicate in a certain way that often includes personal attacks, like like calling her incompetent or questioning her racial heritage and then denying, as he did today, that he's actually done so when we all have him on tape. That's the cost of putting your candidate out there to take questions from the press, that you will get perhaps slightly off message or wildly off message, as we saw from Donald Trump today.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.